What's up, everybody? It's me, Brandon Green, owner of Autoworks. Just want to make a quick video explaining to you all that just because it's new does not mean it's better. When it comes to these Mercedes, I'm a diehard fan of the older Mercedes. Why? Because they're more reliable. A lot of the newer Mercedes, the newer 550s in particular, the M278, those motors are problems. From leaking coolant lines to bad oil seals to cam adjusters, camshaft or cam adjusters, whatever they're called, rattling at startup. Those motors are prone to failure. They are very expensive to maintain. You have to drop the motor to change motor mounts. You have to drop the motor to change water pumps and lines, and it's just so many things that go wrong with that motor. You're starting to see a lot of those motors on the market, the cars that have those motors on the market for cheap. And we're talking about late 2010 through 2020, something like that. Those cars, although those motors are more powerful and very torquey, they are not reliable. And it's sad because Mercedes has kind of included so much technological advances, high-tech interiors, luxury, of course, but even ergonomically, it's not really that good. In some of their cars, they're big boy S-Class. You lack cabin space, like to put stuff, like compartment space. You have leg room and headroom, but I'm talking about just the normal conveniences that you're looking for. We have more things that we carry with us now, more devices and phones and stuff, and so they don't really make it very easy to place your devices, and you don't have as much like armrest. I mean, there's so many different like weird things that are just like different with these cars. I like old school Mercedes. Why? Because the cars are reliable. They're more simple, although they were advanced during their times. They're more simple compared to today's standards, but sometimes simplicity is the best. So you're spending way more money and getting less quality. You're getting less reliability. You're putting more money into maintenance than you used to have to before. The problem is Mercedes made their cars too good and they put too much money into them. And so the customer benefits. But of course, like every other car manufacturer out there, they find cheaper ways to charge you more. They put less quality, less research, less development, and they charge you more. Yeah, they kind of cover it over by saying, you're getting more horsepower. You're getting all this seamless technology that allows you to be more interactive with the vehicle and to hands-free technology, things of that nature. But what it is a gimmick, because a lot of that electronic stuff is not expensive. You can supplement that with your own aftermarket accessories. You can buy older Mercedes and incorporate all that kind of stuff into your car yourself. You don't have to pay Mercedes technology or pay for Mercedes to do it. You can do it yourself. So I am a fan of buying older cars. This right here, 2010. Now this is the 14 I'm talking about. This is the S550. That's the one I was complaining about. As beautiful as this car is, I mean, come on. When you see it coming down the road, what looks as good as a newer S550? 2014 through 20. Unbelievable cars. But the problem is they're just not reliable. The motors are not reliable. If you don't believe me, Google M278 and you'll see all the common issues with that motor. That motor. Now this one right here is not bad, but guess what? The check engine light is on. And guess what? When I read up on it, it's pointing to the cam adjusters. It's pointing to a misfire in a cylinder, which is due to, I think, like a cylinder head leak or something like that. These are common issues with these motors. So don't get me wrong. I will put the money into it to maintain it, but I don't like that I have to. I hate that because you have 2002 CL500. It don't have those problems. 2005. This is an M275, the V12, I think. No problems. This thing runs good, solid, fast. 2005. 2004. M113K supercharged V8. No problems with that motor. And guess what? If it had problems with it, it's easy to fix. That right there, M113K, supercharged, G-Wagon, 2010. You understand what I'm saying? Which one is this? M273, I think. So the naturally aspirated V8 was very reliable. These right here, the V8s, the 550s, like from 2000 and I don't know what is it, 2000, late 2006 through 2013 or no 2011 or 12 or something like that. Very reliable motors, very minimal maintenance. Oil coolers, you got to change those out. Regular maintenance, oil changes, spark plugs, coil packs, whatever, but nothing major. Those motors last. So if you're going to get like a GL, if you look at the market, the newer body style GLs from like 2013 and up, they're going for cheap. They're almost as cheap as the previous body style. They're going down into the low teens. I mean, I'm seeing them now at $10,000. You can get a 2014 GL 550. There's a reason for that, because those motors are trash. I don't know what the motors are on these. This is the Euro spec, but this is a V8, and this thing is stupid reliable. Stupid reliable. This right here, the 560 SEC US spec, crazy reliable. You understand what I'm saying? M113K, reliable. M113K, reliable. 0303. It's just what it is. Mercedes is fooling you guys by getting you guys to buy newer cars because of the newer body styles and the crazy interiors and the crazy colored leather interiors. It's all a gimmick, man. It's a way to keep you spending. Mercedes will go out of business if you stop buying their new cars. They don't make money off of the used cars besides the services that they render. But they can only do that for that's not going to keep Mercedes afloat. They have to continue to develop, create, and sell new products. Just know what you're getting yourself into. My perspective is from a broke man perspective. Because I don't want to afford a brand new car. If I did it, it's like buying a house. Because the level of Mercedes that I like is their top of the line Mercedes. We're talking about the S-classes and the full size and the big V8s and, the full size vehicles, the higher performance vehicles, the AMGs. That's what I like. But guess what? I don't want to afford, nor can I afford the new ones. To go spend $150,000, $160,000, that's a house. Well, maybe not today's market, but the way I grew up, that's a house. I can't even fathom going into debt and paying over a 5-year term $160,000 for a car. But even buying these cars used for 30, 40, 50,000, you have to know what you're buying. It has to make sense. Different strokes for different folks. I like old Mercedes for a reason. They were built different. They're reliable. They're powerful. I mean, think about it. All these newer motors that they're building, they're not that much more powerful than the M113Ks that they started to develop in 2003. Come on. 493 stock horsepower, and then easily you can get them up to 600. Come on, man. You can get a AMG like these for $10,000, $10,000 to $15,000. Just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Again, be careful buying these cars. These twin turbo V8s, it's a gimmick. I'm telling you. Smaller displacement. 4.7? I don't know what they are. 4 point something. But a lot of car manufacturers are going that route. Smaller displacement, putting twin turbos on them. How many cars really last with twin turbos as a daily driver? How many of these twin turbos can you put excessive miles on and they last forever? Not many. Be careful. I remember when Honda Civics did that, when you can get 1,000 horsepower out of a VTEC 4-cylinder motor by putting a gigantic turbo on it. A lot of power, straight line power, speed, incredible. But they don't last. Audi's been putting turbos in their 4 cylinders and 6 cylinders for how long? And do you see a lot of old Audis on the road? First thing that goes are the turbos. So what do you think is going to happen with these newer cars with all these turbos on these smaller motors? What's going to happen? From Ford, Toyota, I guess GMC or Chevy is doing it. Obviously, Mercedes is doing it. BMW is doing it. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to be sold for cheap and cheaper. and cheap and cheaper because they're cheap and they're cheaper. And people are going to be complaining and people are going to keep buying. That's the thing. They're making them cheaper. They don't last. And so you have to go back and buy it again. And I guess that's commerce, right? That's how the economy stays afloat. Keep selling you all temporary products so that you keep buying new products. I don't know. You can either be a part of the problem or you can be the solution to the problem. Buying old Mercedes is a solution to the problem. All right, I'm done. I just had to go on that little rant. Thanks for watching my content. More on the way. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about what I just said, okay? I got to go. I got cars to work on. All right, I got coilover conversions coming in from out of town. I got one from Florida that I just did. It's parked over here. I got another one that I got to do. So it's cold out here. As you can see, there's snow. And I have to move some cars around. So thanks for watching my content. More on the way. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.